So this is kind of like a part two to the to that video where I talked about whether or not I think we rely on technology too much. But one of the things that technology has done, other than people forgetting the original way to do things, is as a result of people losing work and things becoming faster from technology, people don't really care about the quality of things as much anymore. Like, baseline quality is fine now, essentially. Like, before we had all this technology, goods were... It was way better to produce quality goods than it was to produce just a ton of cheap gifts. Not gifts, but goods. Like, it was... You were essentially known for the quality of your craft, basically. Like, how good you were at something determined whether people were going to buy from you. Basically, like, if some dude could make a good sword, then he was going to get business because everyone knew he could make a good sword. Whereas if his competitor couldn't make as good a sword, they weren't going to buy from him. I mean, if they just wanted something that could cut, essentially, like as a simple an axe is something that's simple to make. So if it was basically just something that they wanted to do a job, but it wasn't something that they wanted for like a noble, I said like too many times. But if it wasn't something they wanted for a noble or someone of high status, then any smith was fine, as long as the thing could do its job. As long as an axe can chop a tree or chop wood, it's perfectly fine. I mean, it requires sharpening, of course, but anyone can sharpen as long as they have the tools to do that. As long as whatever thing does the job good enough, then it's fine. But if you wanted the absolute best quality thing, you went to the dude who knew more, of course. But nowadays, we focus more on quantity rather than quality. We have everything has a baseline quality, and I mean, while the things we sell could be of better quality, it makes them more money. The companies, they make more money just by focusing on the quantity and not as much the quality. And what we tend to do is we tend to have it be where things with better quality are more expensive. But no one does extensive testing. No average person really goes and does extensive testing of these things to see whether or not the quality is actually better, because they can't be bothered to do that. Because I mean, I can only go from my experiences, but in the in the American lifestyle, where the entire country is based on time, essentially, we don't have the time to worry about if these products truly are of higher quality than the rest. I mean, as far as like something with duct tape, like it could be like a luxury duct tape brand or something, and like it's supposedly like just way better than the rest or something. As far as it could be just as good as the rest, but I mean, it says it's better, and if you don't have the time to test it, you might just assume it's better simply because it has the price. But I mean, if you can afford it, then I mean, you could buy it. Whereas if something does a fine enough job, like a duct tape for $3 is a fine enough job, of course you're going to use the one for $3. Unless you have more money than you know what to do with, and then you'll just buy the $15 one just because you can, essentially. But basically, we don't really need to worry about the quality of things as much. I mean, at this point, people, and by not people, but, companies, like I said, I think I may have mentioned this in the, do we rely on technology too much? I don't think I did. But companies are making TVs, they purposely put a device in there that only allows the TV to be usable for a certain number of hours. Like, basically, the device makes the TV so it's only usable for, say, 10 years or something, and then you need to buy another TV. But basically, I don't know exactly how the devices function or whatnot, or all the things that they do to make sure that the computer or TV or whatever will eventually break down quicker than it would normally. Because, there's old CRT TVs, like, I mean, if you had a CRT, it's probably still working now, but I mean, the thing's like just absurdly bulky, so I mean, like, what's the point? Why keep something that you need a team of men to lift when you can grab a flat screen and you can move that thing anywhere you want in the house yourself? Basically. And I mean, the flat screens, they do last for quite a while, even if they do things so that the TV will eventually break itself down. But like I said, I don't know exactly the process that they do. But all I know is that supposedly, because I haven't confirmed it myself, it's not like I go hack apart TVs. I mean, if I had the money to do that, I mean, and they supplied me with TVs or something, then I mean, I would like hack apart a TV and be like, oh yeah, it's like this thing right here, they put this junk in here. But I mean, since I'm not literally made of money, or I don't have some sort of partnership with the TV company so that then they'll just send me TVs or something, I have no desire to actually look inside and try and figure out what exactly is in there that makes it stop working quicker than it would naturally. But companies, they do stuff so that their product breaks down faster than it would have if they hadn't done whatever process, so that you'll come and buy more. I mean, while you might not buy from them like you might buy a TV from someone else, the point is, they want you to just buy a TV, of course. But yeah, quality doesn't matter as much these days. It's more about if you can actually make the thing. If you can make the thing, then that's fine. Basically, I mean, if you can make the thing, someone's gonna buy it. While people do care about quality, they don't care about it as much anymore. Quality used to be what determined, how much business you would get, but now it's, I mean, quantity obviously determined it as well to a degree. I mean, quality and quantity always determine it, but it's less about quality and more about quantity now. That's how it changes. I mean, I could be wrong. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I'm not. But I mean, you know how I said. I mean, I can't say this enough, because I'm sure, if someone comments, because I mean, not many people have watched these so far. But I mean, I really can't say it enough. these rambling on videos, I mean, you can tell in the title, because rambling has, someone doesn't ramble when they know about junk. I mean, you only ramble when I'm literally just talking, basically. I'm not, everything I say in these videos, I am not saying it as if I have researched extensively on the topic. I mean, I can do it again and do like updates after I have learned about the topic, but I will probably, while we'll still be rambling on, I will be like, I'll make it clear that whatever video is, how whatever stands, essentially. But basically, as I do them right now, I simply talk about something, and if someone calls me out on something, I might look more into whatever it is that I talked about, and then do a video where I update and be like, oh no, it was like it's like this or whatnot. But for the most part, most of these are basically just going to be me talking about something because I feel like it, and it's not going to be something that is 100% confirmed, essentially. Like, I'm not sitting here doing experiments about everything, and I'm not reading books and getting both sides before I talk about everything that I talk about. But like I said, I'm not going to talk about politics or anything like that. Like, I'm pretty much only really talking about things that aren't going to get me stoned to death, or that aren't going to cause much uproar, basically. If I ever do talk about something like that, you better believe I'm going to be reading those books so that I can be as neutral as possible and not get stoned to death by rocks, because I definitely don't want to be stoned to death. Stabbings are more welcome, but hopefully I don't suffer. Just if you're gonna kill me, just no suffering. I think that's how everyone wants to go. If they must die via murder, they hope that they get the quick death rather than the non-quick death. But I think everyone prefers as the most preferable form of death. I think most people would agree. And going in your sleep seems pretty peaceful, because you're in your sleep. Wow, I've really gone off on a tangent here, haven't I? Like, what was I even? Oh yeah, quality and quantity. That's what I was talking about. But I think it's been like 5 minutes since I was talking about that. It's like, you can tell these things aren't regulated. Like, there's no script, and every single one of these, I go off on some random tangent. Not all of these. If I ever do my research, but you better believe there's going to be a script. Or if I feel like something needs a script, then there will be a script. But for the most part, most of these won't have a script. It's just going to be me rambling on about whatever for however many minutes. But that's going to be about it for this one. If you liked, go ahead and press that like button. If you disliked it, give it a dislike. And if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. And I will see you in the next video, or not. It really depends on whether you decide to come or not.